Good morning everyone, and welcome back to more Stardew Valley. Previously, we experienced all 3 days of the Desert Festival, or I always like to call it the Calico Festival because that seems more appropriate. This time, we are going to be doing something that I've been teasing for a while, which is, well, it's going to be the new style of videos that I was mentioning, the new style of episodes, where we're going to be combining a bunch of days into one video and condense it to the most important things. So there are going to be some things that are just going to be assumed that I'm going to be doing. For example, chores like watering plants, which we really don't do that much, but hang out with the animals, things like that. Unless there's something for me to bring up, you're not going to be seeing any of that for the next few days because, well, it's just assumed that that's what I'm doing. Let's talk honey. No, not you, still. You're talking for the sweet product made by our friends the bees. I was talking about me. If you got some flowers blowing to your tree, what the frick? My bee house, your bees can produce flavored honey, otherwise you'll only get wild honey. Pretty sweet, huh? Sure, wait, where is Penny? Oh, she may be outside, actually. So we'll check out, but... yeah, she is, okay. Got brilliant, watered some crops. They were already done. You really got this place. Oh, I got Burley to water some crops and they were already done. You really got this place under control. Oh, I actually didn't know they added dialogue, yeah. So she tried to water the crops today, but that wasn't necessary because we actually had all the crops already watered, but that was nice of you, sweet of you to try. But yeah, so I'm going to be going forward. This is going to be the first episode that's going to be in that style. Again, you'll be seeing all the stuff that I think is important or stuff that I, would assume you guys would need to or want to see. And anything else that I didn't think needed to be cut to, I'll probably at least explain in due time. But yeah, hopefully this will all work out. And starting off, we're going to be getting 30 hay from Marty. Yep, I'm going to start with doing our chores. We have a bit of things to do. This is our first day back on the ye old grind since it came on yesterday, or last episode. We spent the whole entire time at the festival, so we're going to get back to work. I'll see you guys at the first point of interest. Starting off, let's deliver that leek that Granny Evelyn asked for. Thank you, dear. This little what the frick? This leek looks delicious. George will be so happy. He loves when I make eggs with leeks for breakfast. Okay. I'll just see us talk about baking cookies today. Don't really need the friendship, but we're doing the right thing and we get 500 gold, so that helps. While we don't have all the components needed for this specific bundle, we do have most of them. I'm going to be dropping off all of the ones we currently have, that being the caviar, dinosaur mayonnaise, and prismatic shard, and lastly, the Gold Star Void salmon, leaving only either a silver wine or 5 Gold Star ancient fruit. Both of those are going to take a little bit no matter which one we decide to go with, so I wanted to get at least the ones that we had done out of the way. While we're up here near Joja Mart, one of these secret notes we got a while ago, that is a map. I don't remember which one for sure. Let me look. I believe it may be this one, maybe? It's one of these. One of these, I'll eventually do where all of them go, but one of them will lead you up to here. And thankfully, this doesn't matter if you have completed the community center or not. It'll lead you to this spot. If you press A while on the spot, hey kid, I need a lucky break. Why don't you bring me a rabbit's foot? I'll make it worth your while. So there's somebody in this Joja truck, even though the establishment has been closed for quite a while. We do have one of those on us, so I might as well give it to him. In exchange for that, we will get... You received a special charm. You feel an aura of good fortune surrounding you. Luck is permanently increased. That is correct. That is yet another wallet item that will permanently increase luck by a little bit. Not a ton, mind you, but it should be hopefully by enough to at least make some of our, efforts worthwhile. And hey, you know what? Extra luck probably can't hurt, so we'll take what we can get. Time for another big quest, and this time we have something very interesting. So here we have Pierre's Prime Produce. Tongue twister. Hello, for an upcoming promotion, we can offer some high-quality vegetables at a slight premium. Know where to find a thrifty shop keep? Might find 25 Gold Star vegetables. Or island ingredients. I want to experiment with tropical cooking, but it's hard to find any ingredients. Someone could ship 100 taro roots, it might help. This is the start of quests that are linked to the island. Now, between these two, it's more likely we're going to complete Pierre's in time, so we're going to click that. But don't worry, we'll eventually get to all of them, as I said. But either way, it's something we'll be working on. And speaking of the island, you can probably guess where we're heading to now, but if you couldn't, that's where we're heading to right now, so there you go. Hey, I don't mean to jump scare you or anything like that, but as I mentioned at the start of this video, this is going to be kind of how these formats work. It's going to change as we go as I figure out my footing for exactly how I want to go about this, but this essentially is me post-production coming in and talking about stuff that I didn't think of at the time, or having a bit more of a consensus of things to talk about, though I'll still for the most part be unscripted, so that way I'm still keeping that genuine old-school YouTube feel. But in this case, I wanted to discuss what you see me doing here, as I didn't really explain why I was going to Ginger Island today. Now, there's a lot of work to get done on here, but one of the things you're going to see me do, including getting that golden walnut there a few seconds ago, was I'm going to be clearing out certain areas of the map, because I don't fully know which golden walnuts I've collected that are RNG related, even though you could keep track of them via notes and whatnot. I just, will be honest, am lazy and didn't do that. So you'll see me clearing out areas that are generally pretty full of debris, because that's one of the areas you're going to find potential golden walnuts. You can also see there, I got the amethyst bird, which showed in the northern quadrant of the map for us. So now we know that that's where the amethyst that the drop will go. So something I've been meaning to do for a while, but I always forget to, is I brought a slingshot. Now you may be wondering yourself, you hate the slingshot, Ryan, why'd you bring this? Well, it's specifically because if you were to bring a slingshot and shoot that specific tree, you get a gold walnut. You may think that's a little vague, but there was a little bit of an actual thing there, like a part of, like, I don't know, some pixels there that I guess can insinuate that that's there. It's one of the more annoying golden walnuts to get, but I wanted to get that while I was thinking about it. Speaking of things I wanted to do while I was thinking about it, I forgot that one of the things you can do if you're like me and you struggle to remember certain locations where you've checked, put a torch on the location where you have already checked for a gold walnut. For example, one normally spawns there, but I already collected that one. So I can put a torch there, and that way going forward, I will know I do not need to check that once again. I am going to try to get to the 5th area of the mine here. I'm really not in the market here for anything else in particular. I mean, I'll take any other loot I get that's like really good, but I'll take that especially. But the main reason I'm wanting to do that is because I'm going to try to get there to purchase something that I've been waiting to purchase for a little bit. So wish me luck. But before we do that, I think we just got, I believe, yet another secret note. Day 23, the local volcano holds many secrets. I've seen little men with glowing eyes skittering about in the dark like cats in the night. Could these be the fabled dwarf men mentioned by M. Jasper in his famous journeys? Strange machines, too uncanny, not like anything known to man. And at the top I found a passage to the caldera of the volcano, and half submerged in the building of lava is a peculiar machine, a kind of forge. I'll investigate further tomorrow. Interesting. We'll have to, I mean, we already kind of know about the forge, but took him a little bit longer to figure that out than us. So, once again, I do have a topic to immediately talk about, and I want to kind of go over this because I realized I never really did. The true differences of this compared to the Skull Cavern. Of course, there are different enemies like the fire guys who grow through walls, and they eventually get a yellow version as you get further in that do more damage and are a little bit faster. But for the main part, you just need to bring your watering can. As you can see, whenever you water the lava spots, you will then create a path. Tiger slimes do more damage, but for the most part, they're like just little mazes. But the main thing I wanted to explain is that the main difference you're going to find here compared to the normal mines is that lava it can be a little confusing trying to get to the end. But sometimes you'll find areas with switches, which I think we actually even see later in this episode. So you'll have to touch all those pressure plates before you can progress to the next area. But for the most part, the differences for this is just going to be enemy based. The fire guys, they go through walls and can be a little annoying. Tiger slimes, they do a lot of damage. And then, of course, there's the little helmet guys, which explode after you do enough damage to them. So just keep an eye out for them. Took a little bit longer, and by the skin of my teeth, because you can see I'm actually quite low on HP, but we made it to floor 5 like I was hoping to. Now that we're here, I want to come over and talk to our boy here, because I brought all of our diamonds. I forgot we only needed 10, and we're going to be buying the Diamond Hunter. All stones have a chance to drop diamond when by hand. Not the most useful book by any means, but hey, it's reinvesting, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of mining like you see us do quite a bit. Plus, it's a permanent oh my gosh, Ryan, you need more sleep. A permanent buff to our collection here, as you can see. So might as well grab that. I think it was probably worth it. So it's getting pretty late, and if you look, I actually didn't bring any warp totems. My bad, I guess. But this actually is a good time to bring something up. We got 21, I believe, gold walnuts on us. Let's buy whatever this little sleeping hut is that we heard from quite a while ago, actually. I wish we could get a discount since we have a parrot buddy, but I don't think that's how it works. And there we can go. Or there we can go. There we go. Walnuts, deliver mail. Okay. And now we have access to a little home. That's right, we actually own another house, and get this, it's another house with a bed that you can sleep in. I know it seems like such a very lame thing to get excited about. It's like, of course it's a bed, what else are you gonna do in a bed? But this works very similarly to our, well, pretty much exactly to our bed back home. Now, this isn't a perfect solution, since keep in mind we still have animals and stuff to get back to, and we don't have enough auto grabbers to essentially automate the process, but it is a nice way of being able to more swiftly get around and also just play it safe as we are doing stuff. This also means we can start our day here. There's also access now to a shipping bin, and once you have in fact made this upgrade for the sleeping hut, a lot more around the island gets changed than you might think. For example, this area opens up. There's now a cave back here where we can talk to this guy.
Crib, 2 days into my nest. A humble farmer come to cultivate my lands. How fortunate. Oh, the rains have blessed me. You see, my fields once teemed with fresh fruit and vegetables, but I have grown old and without the vigor of youth. My fields have turned into worthless dust. What I would give to feast my eyes upon that banquet of delights once more. That's where you come in. You must grow for me the sweet delight, which is both pink and juicy. Do not pluck it from the earth. I wish to see it in its natural state.
Okay, so I guess we need to try to grow something pink and fluffy. Okay, we'll try to get back to him on that. But there's a lot more around the island that changes and opens up as well, and we're going to get to some of that. Now, thankfully, one of the things that we did do yesterday is since it was raining, we actually found another bird. This time it was a purple one, and it was north. So that gave us an amethyst. Amethysts aren't exactly purple, or aren't exactly... Yeah, I think it's purple, actually. Never mind. I thought for some reason it was like a pink bird, but I think it was purple. Which means there are 2 more locations for us to potentially find a bird, and it is raining today. So I kind of want to look around this area, see if there's a bird over here somewhere, because if it is, then we can get yet another gem out of the way. I'm not really seeing it off the top of my head, though, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But yeah, so if you're concerned about, like, oh, you're going to miss out on your animals, don't worry, we'll have time to get back there. The main concern is just going to be our chickens, since we don't have an auto-grabber for them right now, which hopefully we'll be able to get at some point, because then that will mean it's a lot less risky to stay out. Yeah, of course, our wife, we never came home to our wife last night, so hopefully she knows we're fine, but, the breaking immersion for a second, I think we're probably fine. But now there are birds in new locations. For example, we can now access something down here for 20 walnuts. Build resort. 20 walnuts, build resort. Oh, there we go. Didn't we already get this one? Aquamarine? I didn't know they could repeat. That's terrible, actually, but okay. Little crab down there. Really cool guy. Okay, so I guess I'll head up here. We'll go put at least our amethyst in. I think we already got the aquamarine, though, from before, but it's whatever. Maybe I can give this one to our boy up there, Leo. Maybe he'll like that. I'm not sure. So here, after I place the amethyst down, you're going to see that after I go and talk to Leo and give him an aquamarine, which I think he just liked, I go back to the area that we just built our little sleeping cabin in, and I start clearing out the area after I try to check for hints here at the parrot, which make sure you do that in case you feel like you may be a little bit behind on gold walnuts. But yeah, I go back there and I start clearing out more land, and it's not just for gold walnuts, but I'm doing this because now that we have a house set up here, we actually can start growing. We could be growing stuff here earlier, but now we can actually use this land, and the plans that you want to use this farmland you're going to see here is very end game based. There's a lot of plans I have for this, and there are a lot of things you can do with it, and so I recommend trying to clear this out as soon as you can, because this is where we're going to start making a lot of money just over time progressively, and so we're going to try to get that started as soon as possible so we have to hopefully waste less time. One thing I will say is if you guys have anything that you want me to discuss that you maybe have not been able to understand at this point in the series, let me know in the comments below, and during these little fast forward segments, if I have nothing else to add, I could be answering those questions. But either way, I'll give it back to Pastor Ryan here, and he'll kind of explain a little bit more at that time. And as you can see, I actually just finished up clearing up the field outside of our sleeping hut, which is something we can actually use as a farm. Now, this may seem random, but it is worth noting that the, area here can be farmed on, and not only that, it actually has the same qualifications as the greenhouse, meaning if you plant something here, it doesn't matter what season it normally grows in, it will grow here, so long as, of course, you water it and all that stuff. I don't think there are any exceptions to this rule, though any of you who are more informed about that can let me know. One of the things we're going to start growing are these taro tubes, as they act a lot like rice, where when they're planted near water, they will grow essentially by themselves. Now, we're going to have to definitely craft some more iridium sprinklers before we start planting stuff here, but this is going to be one of the major areas that are going to be a key factor in us progressing pretty quickly in this game. So, that's where you're seeing that start out with. That being said, I'm actually going to just grab a bunch of goodies here and head back to the farm after I read this, because there's some stuff I want to do. Ooh, we actually have a bit of a treasure map here. First, why don't we check that out? This shows a X that appears to be, I believe, down here. And if we go look around, let's see if we can find anything. Now, this dark area here, you actually can't till normally, but there's one right there you can. You'll find a gold walnut and a pearl. We already have a pearl, and we know it's worth 2,500 gold. Might as well sell it for a little bit of extra cash. I do think we have one other one that was like a map, and I think if I remember correctly, yes, it's over to the left. We'll go check that out as well before we head back to the farm. You can see it's already getting pretty late, so we're probably done with the island for the day. But once we get back to the farm, we're going to start preparing for another trip here where we're going to be placing down sprinklers, a bunch of seeds. We're essentially going to start trying to actually make this area a place that we're profiting from as well, just so we're getting the most out of our land that we own. This is also why I haven't been that much farming on the main farm, is because I knew eventually we'd get this area of the game, and I knew it would be worth a lot more. So I think it's around here somewhere. Let me check the image again. Yes, appears to be like the left of 2. So wait, is this it? Wait, let me look. Let me look again. So it's like 2 trees. Yeah, it's around here, I think, somewhere. So I think we can just kind of till around, and in case you're curious and like you don't know for sure, if you have an upgraded hoe, I think you can do this. Yeah, there we go, found it. So I think it's this spot here. We got another gold walnut, and we get a quality bobber. Boost the quality fish you catch. I think that's the first time we found one of those. That's a cool little find. But there we go. So we got 2 little fishing quests sort of done. And now with that done, we are going to head back to the farm for the day and get back to preparing for our new takeover of this new land. Very exciting stuff. And we got a new achievement, and the name is self-explanatory, and it's a really exciting one. Millionaire! Earn 1 million gold. Really cool and really exciting that we just earned that. Unfortunately, it doesn't mean we have 1 million gold on us. It just means we've in total earned 1 million. I think this is the first time we've actually seen our wife over here. This is actually a spot your spouse will sometimes go to. This is a lot more peaceful than my old spot in town. Very happy here. Aw, she gets to overlook all my junk I haven't organized properly.
Ah, that feels good. Water's never been cleaner. And the same goes for me.
As random of a cutscene that was, that's actually something you get only once you've completed the mission we had with him, if you recall, for cleaning up the water for trash. Now, that doesn't really make much sense in context, because if you recall, where we got all the trash from was on our farm in a little pond, so we really didn't clean up anything outside of that pond. But, you know, it's the thought that counts, I guess. Okay. So the reason I was coming up here wasn't actually to see Linus naked in his bathing suit, though that was a serendipitous effect, I will be honest. We're coming up here to spend almost all of our money on one of the dumbest things I ever will do. Coming up here to shop, I showed it a while ago, there is a furniture catalog for an outrageous price. And we're buying it. That is so much money gone. But I feel like 2 things. 1, I've been promising about the decorating our house for a long time and making it look nice. But 2, there's actually some more practical reasons for it too. Don't worry, all that will happen in due time. But that's exactly, I just wanted to get that today while I was thinking about it. But the main thing we're going to be doing is actually heading over to the island. You can see I have a bunch of materials on me, and I'm missing one of the things I need. I'm missing the battery packs, which I need for iridium sprinklers. That'll give us time to drop off our furniture catalog, and we'll make sure we're doing, you know, that stuff later in terms of working on that. But yeah, as you can see, I have a bunch of seeds. I threw some melons we saved from summer in the seed maker, and I'm just going to plant as many things as I can that I think are of value. The reason I have the melon seeds in particular, though, is because if you recall, it kind of fits the description of what the frog guy was asking for, so we'll throw one of those in there, and maybe that'll be it. But as you can see, I have things like strawberries, red cabbages, I have a rare seeds, a bunch of stuff in here that we can start having be worked on, just since, again, everything can grow at any time in that season, so might as well be working on it. Okay, and now that all of that is said and done, it's time for us to actually head over there, so I'll see you guys over there. And as you can see, there is more exciting stuff yet to come. Here you can see I'm starting to begin the process of actually cultivating this land into something good, and by good I mean valuable to us. So as you can see, I'm just spacing out the iridium sprinklers properly, trying to make sure we get the most out of our space as possible. I'm planting the pineapple seeds, which we've been collecting via the monsters in the volcano, planting a bunch of the other seeds I left behind, including the melons, as I mentioned earlier. Just in general, trying to get this area ready, so that way we are going to be actually, you know, profiting from the stuff here. I even ended up planting the sweet gem berries, and you may think that that may seem weird, but trust me, there's a reason. I also craft quite a few tea saplings, because, well, never hurts to have quite a few of these. Plus, I don't really know for sure off the top of my head if I need to sell 15 of the leaves, if that's part of it. So I just wanted to make sure I had those grown anyway, and they're not bad money, and there's a few little spots that I really couldn't find anything else to plant there that would get watered, just due to how things are placed unevenly around the farm. So that's why I placed those there. And to answer the question you may be thinking, why are there no scarecrows? Well, it's because on Ginger Island, scarecrows are not needed, because crows do not spawn on Ginger Island. Your crops should never get destroyed via a crow, or eaten, I guess, rather than destroyed. So this allows you to make even more money off of this area in particular, hence why I said that this is a really important spot for endgame stuff. After we are finished with this, you can see I go around and I start checking out other areas of the farm. I start double checking certain spots for gold walnuts, placing torches on the spots that I can confirm I checked. I then head up to the forge and start trying to forge with the few shards I have left. I end up getting, I believe it's the archaeology one on the hoe, which makes it more likely for you to get artifacts. And I think I got Fisher on the iridium pan, which means there's a chance I think of getting fish or something like that from what's it called? from Panny itself. And then lastly, I headed down here, and this one gold walnut that had been driving me mad, I ended up just looking it up because I forgot what the path was, and for some reason I thought it was different. But as you can see, I finally got around to actually grabbing it. My lazy rear end finally went to go grab that, so that's how that all went down. Put iron in there because we're going to start saving up for the anvil, sold all the items, and that was pretty much this day. A lot of grinding, and you can see here at the end, I'm just doing something that seems really random, but you can see I'm actually, at the end of the day, I'm moving items around, trying to store them, because I'm preparing our house to be fully decorated soon. Not going to happen this episode, but very soon I'm planning on finally decorating our house and making it look somewhat tolerable, because I feel bad for Penny. She's been living with us for over 3 months now, and yeah, our house has not held up that well, so let's hopefully surprise her in a good way, a good surprise, with our house actually looking somewhat manageable. Similarly, this day starts out like many others, but I do want to point out that I actually do learn a new recipe thanks to the Queen of Sauce, that being the complete breakfast. We also have great luck, meaning I may want to go over back into the volcano again. Eventually I make my way over to the greenhouse where we have another harvest of ancient fruit, which I then will reinvest by putting it back into the seed maker. But I will be keeping the gold star variant because, as you recall, we need that for a bundle now. Afterwards, I realized that for Pierre's quest, it's specifically vegetables that we need 5-star, not fruit, so I decided to go and purchase a bunch of parsnips, which I'll put quality fertilizer on, and hopefully expedite that quest. And since I'm a glutton for pain, let's remove the rest of our funds from the equation. We are now poorer than we've been since probably the first few episodes of this series. I am probably the dumbest individual on the planet, but I don't even care. We just bought the catalog, and I already mentioned what this is, but basically it's what we just bought. Basically allows us to have infinite access to pretty much all the wallpapers in the entire game, and flooring, without having to spend money on them whenever we want. So, yeah, again, I'm probably pretty dumb about that, and for now, you know, we're not going to do anything with it, but look forward to that being the thing we work with later.
Says the English localization.
It's been a while since we've had a gold-fashioned heart scene. So you're Sebastian, Ryan. And my parrot, don't forget my parrot friend. I'm surprised to find you out here in the rain. I have work to do, brother. Don't stop for the weather. Look at the dark clouds looming over the horizon. I hope they come this way. I like this weather because it makes everyone disappear, you know? Being around people makes me feel anxious. I don't feel that way around you, though. Aw, we're good friends. We're getting soaked. Shouldn't you have probably had that out earlier? Here, there's room for 2. Yo, oh, my guy nudging forward. Okay. Oh, that was sweet. Just a nice little heartwarming little cutscene. So we made it back to the forge, and I actually wanted to come here to show something a little bit different. We can see that we don't have any prismatic shards, but we do have our rings on us, which it'll let us use. If you were to put up 2 rings together in this area, and for the cost of 20 of these little, I always forget they're called cinder shards, I believe, you will combine the ring. Combined ring. Monsters have greater chance of dropping loot, and the lunar emblem is said to bring luck to whoever wears it. So now both the lucky ring and the burglar's ring are combined and can both be equipped on this slot. This means you can combine legitimately almost any ring together outside of 2 of the same one and get a unique ring which will then be on there. For example, I just put another one there. Combined ring glows, attracts items, and increases attack damage by 10%, and when you defeat an enemy, they explode. So now we have the effect of 4 rings on us, basically, even though we only still have 2 slots we could actually use. Something I wanted to show because I meant to do that a lot earlier, but I honestly just forgot to. And here are our funds for the day. Nothing great, especially now that we're dirt broke, but we'll be trickling that money in soon enough, especially now that we've gotten that big purchase out of the way. Now we're going to be saving up for probably the biggest push in income possible for our entire run. That being said, I think that's all for today. Next time, we're going to be experiencing the last of our second year of spring, and we're going to be preparing for, well, more goodies to come in the island of Ginger, or Ginger Island, and we're hoping to set even more of our stuff up for success. I hope to see you all there.